Hey, we should be live. Microphone looks good. Visuals look good. Okay, back. We're building more Beluna. He is again. And last time we did the core sets to finish up. We got up through Origins. And we did do the first commander set, so listed on Gatherer's Magic the Gathering Commander, because we were over in Scryfall at the time since Gatherer didn't want to play nice. So now we are on Magic the Gathering Conspiracy. And we have organized by set number so we can focus on the unique cards to Conspiracy. Yeah, that doesn't work, does it? Hexproof, dethrone, deals combat damage to a player, draw a card, cares about artifacts. Knowledge, decision, throne, throne. 4/4 Ogre. Starting with you, each player chooses an artifact, a creature, and a land from among the permanents controlled by the player to their left. Destroy each permanent chosen this way. Mission. 4/4. Nope. Don't need the Scourge. Treasonous Ogre. Not really my for this deck anyway. Wolf. Instead, create 3. Of cards in all players' hands. For land card and put it in my hand. Nope. Top card of their library. For each non-land card revealed this way, make a 3/3 elephant. Then everybody draws a card. Counter, then each player draws a card. Deck. Duplicant. Smuggler. Draftable artifact creatures. Coercive portal. Yep. Seems to be it. Okay. That was Conspiracy. On to March of the Machine. You cast the Adventures from Exile. I can't remember if there was a card that rewarded you for doing that anywhere near March of the Machine. I don't think there was anything in the main set. For Ancient Creosaur. Awaken the Maelstrom. Whenever I cast my first instant or sorcery spell each turn, I may cast a spell with lesser mana value that shares a card type with it from my hand without paying its mana cost. If I don't, I create Ragavan. So that works with the adventures. So I'm being given permission to cast another sorcery or another instant. Does have to have lesser mana value than the first one I cast in order to get it for free, but that does still technically work. Oops. I was typing March. Now I was typing Machine. Either way. Is Baral and Karizev? He's blue, red, human, 2/4. Can't be a human wizard pirate. I'm gonna guess that didn't fit on the type line. Regisaur. Forget what his front side is. I guess we'll check when we get to the invasion, see if we want any of it. Not a lot of our things actually deal damage. We've mostly just got the stomp on the giant, for example. Our main one that deals damage, so. Enter the battlefield or attack, draw a card, then they discard any number of lands. Does twice that much damage to target creature. Put it into owner's library, third from the top. I don't mind drawing the extra cards, but that's about it. Hey, what do we get if we run Chandra Beacon of Hope? Whenever I cast an instant or sorcery spell, I copy it once per turn. +2, add 2 mana. +1, exile the top 5 cards of your library. You may cast an instant or sorcery spell from among those exiled cards. I believe that works. I have permission to cast an instant or sorcery from among the cards. It's like saying I can cast an instant or sorcery from my graveyard. Like, as long as I'm actually casting an instant or sorcery, that's fine. I believe. That should work. It's still not great. Like, I'm losing the other 4 cards forever. The +1 Chandra. I will get to copy it, but, you know, neither my spells nor my creatures are particularly strong. It's the fact that I get both that helps them. She does copy for free, though, just by having her in play. Yeah, I'm not thrilled with her, though. Fire, Chrome Host Seed Shark. Yeah, having to spend the extra 2 mana to animate the incubator tokens, probably not worth it in this deck. Or most commander decks. Compared to just making the creature with some of the other cards that do similar effects. We could run value Atali, but he's not actually doing anything. The only upside is that he does cast the spells, so we would get the adventures if we wanted them. Fairy Mastermind. Grounds here. Eraser. There's some putting your hand. Yeah, and most of my things are monocolored. Creatures I control have vigilance and tap, add 1 mana of any color. Whenever I cast a creature spell, if 3 or more mana from creatures was spent to cast it, draw a card. Book, Ward 3. There's the battlefield, top 4 cards of your library. Put 1 of them in your hand and the rest on the bottom in a random order. Invasion of Cavios. Okay, treasure token. Discard a card to draw a card. Search my library, enter a graveyard for a non-human creature card with mana value X or less and put it onto the battlefield. If I search my library this way, shuffle. Enters the battlefield, top 5 cards, reveal a permanent card from among them and put in my hand, put the rest on the bottom. Random order. A lot of my things are permanents, and this is the 4/3 that gains indestructible. It's still not super impressive. Don't need Kaladesh. Think I need Kaldheim. Gawa, Karsus. Yeah. Gonda. Try 3, reveal a top card. If it's a land or double face card, draw a card. I think so. Station of Ravnica is fine, not amazing. Chandelar bounces 3 permanents. The other side puts a permanent from your hand into play. Kind of underwhelming then. Govia, Tarkir, Bryn, Tar, Blade Master, Jingaxis. Probably not on Jingataxis. It does have some interesting applications. We do have enough cards that are we can cast as non-creature spells with 3 or more to draw cards. Also, if we're spending our mana to cast the adventure, then we're not playing the cards that we're drawing as often. And eventually he'll bounce all of my things back to my hand so I can recast them on the 3rd chapter. The downside is I then have to pay for all of the things that are in exile as adventures, but he's not terrible, he's just not great either. I don't think I need him. Like, he's definitely bouncing all my stuff because my stuff is not Phyrexian. Don't think we need the Spell Spear for anything. Page. Enters the battlefield, choose one, trample in haste, or fights target creature. Discard it, destroy up to 1 target artifact or enchantment, and shuffle it back into my deck and draw a card. Moment of Truth. Sword, Nahiri's Warcrafting. Every creature you control gains haste, sacrifice at the beginning of the next end step, and create 5 tokens. I think so. Like, if we didn't want Kiki Jiki or the Fable the Mirror Breaker, I don't think we want weird Kiki Jiki. Test. Mage Ring. Lilith, no. Holly K. Plasm. Realmbreaker for anything. Uh, I'm looking at Refraction Elemental, but I think we passed on similar cards that care if I cast a bunch of spells to deal damage. So we probably don't need that one either. C double. We're not really milling our opponent. Won't be able to get enough cards in their graveyard consistently. Four claw for anything. Huh. Sort of once in future. Lets me cast an instant or sorcery with as long as it has mana value 2 or less. It doesn't target. I just have permission to cast a card because they want you to be able to surveil the card into the graveyard, and then it will go to exile anyway for us to cast as a creature. Yeah, okay. That is another card that bypasses all of the things and lets us do a cool trick. Okay, Tangled Skyline, Temporal Cleansing. This is the backside of Vorinclex. Brask is deal 3 damage to target opponent, each creature they control, create 3 treasures. I may cast instant sorcery spells from any graveyard. If a spell cast this way would be put into a graveyard, exile it instead, then exile the Great Work. What do we have to do to flip Brask again? Because I think it's something like cast 3 non-creature spells or something. But I might actually be down for that. Each creature they control, create 3 treasures. Till end of turn, I may cast instant sorcery spells from any graveyard. Then they go to exile, where I want them anyway. There he is. Cast an instant sorcery spell, deal 1 damage, and add a red. Activate only as a sorcery, and only if you've cast 3 or more instants and/or sorceries this turn. Maybe. It's the Great Work is the other side. Brask. The Great Work. Brask is 2 red. CN. Feator. Or 4. Flex. Slasher. Thespian. Wicked Lumber. Cast permanent spells from my graveyard. Yeah, not exactly what I need here. What did the one creature do? I can discard a card for a land or battle. Okay. I kind of glossed over because I got distracted by Orbrask. But I knew it had something on it. Ah, right, Zalortha. Okay. March. Is there an Alchemy March of the Machines? I think there is. So this one's the... Oh, no, Multiverse Legends. Oh, my bad. So we need the second March. That's the commander. believe we need the talents for anything. Right. Shmi and Ragavan. Whenever you cast your first spell during each of your turns, exile the top card of target opponent's library and create a treasure token. Then you may cast the exile card without paying its mana cost. If it's a spell with mana value less than the number of artifacts you control, if you don't cast it this way, if you don't cast it this way, you may cast it this turn. Don't think we need that. Dragster. Hoofbeats. Path of the deals combat damage, create a token that's a copy of target artifact that player controls. Shuffle your library as many times as you choose. Exile the top card of your library. If the total mana value of the cards exiled this way is 13 or less, you may cast any number of spells from among those cards without paying their mana costs. Dash, backup, double strike. 2 artifacts, exile the top card of your library. Whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, deal 1 damage to target opponent. Whenever this creature attacks, for each attacking modified creature you control, create a tapped and attacking token that's a copy of that creature. Exile those tokens at end of combat. Cast their first spell each turn. They create a treasure token. Whenever an artifact an opponent controls is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, deal 1 damage to that player. Token creatures you control have Riot. If a creature you control with a 1/1 counter would deal damage to a permanent or player, deals double that damage instead. This is the triple backup guy. Trample deals combat damage to a player. Put that many 1/1 counters on it. Power, you may put a permanent card with mana value X or less from among them on the battlefield. Rest on the bottom in a random order. Basic lands. Bolster X. Number of different named artifact tokens you control. Player reveals their top card of their library. For each non-land card revealed this way, you create a tapped treasure token, then each player draws a card. Oh, Gremlin Prodigy. Artifact creatures you control have trample. Beginning of your end step, create a 0/0 red gremlin artifact creature token. Put X/1/1 counters on it, where X is a number of differently named artifact tokens you control. Then we're into the reprints. So that was March for the aftermath. Go to twice its power to target creature or planeswalker. Whenever a creature you control attacks or a creature enters the battlefield under your control attacking, you may pay red and 1. If you do, you may put a creature card with mana value less than that creature's mana value from your hand onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking. Think so. Ruins. All non-creature, non-land permanents to owner's hand. It's alright if we're ramping with like land searchers. We can just bypass the whole all of our mana went away while setting somebody else back so that they have to recast all their artifact mana. And bouncing a bunch of enchantments too. I don't know that we need it for anything though. I don't think we're getting any particular value out of doing that. other than possibly bouncing um, the virtues back to our hand so we can get their adventure side again. After one target land you control becomes an XX green and blue bird token with flying and haste. X is the number of cards in your hand. Whenever a land creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Put a serpent spell from your hand. I'd skip over Karn, but we're not really artifact centric, and he definitely cares about artifacts. Attacks, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal a dragon from among them. Rest on the bottom. Board 2. And tap, add 5 mana in any combination of colors only to cast spells. Add 1 mana of any color, then if it's the second time this ability is resolved, I reveal until I hit an elf or elemental, put it in my hand, and the rest on the bottom in a random order. Alright. Werefox is an elf. Sentinel of Lost Lore is an elf. Fauna Shaman's an elf. Rosethorn Acolyte's an elf. Alright. Ramble Familiar, Hearth Elemental, Scalding Viper, Tempest Heart. Those are the only elementals. We have a fair number of hits. And I do run a lot of fetch lands, and she can ramp. And it puts them in our hand, so we get to actually get the spell side if we need it. Hey. It's a Surgeon Animist. Green, Elf Scout. Open the way. Sorry, Reckless Hand. First Strike, Vigilance, Haste. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, if that creature entered the battlefield this turn, draw a card. Flame. Dragon spells cost 1 less. Whenever dragon enters the battlefield under your control, you may have Sarkhan's Soul of Flame become a copy of it until end of turn. Yeah, it's not really doing much for us. Enters the battlefield, put a rejection counter on each creature opponents control. At the beginning of your end step, for each opponent, choose up to 1 target creature they control with a counter on it. The creature's owner puts it on the top or bottom of their library. Artifact or enchantment, exile a graveyard, gain 4 life. Creature cards in your graveyard. As you cast the spell, creatures you control gain vigilance until end of turn. Copy of that card, except it has flying. Nope. Okay. It's the aftermath. Masterpieces, Masters Collection, Mercadian Masks. Exile the top card of my library until end of turn. I may play that card. Yeah, I don't think I need a 6 mana 4/3 flyer. Costs 3 mana to use that ability. Cards in an opponent's hand. Brawl, Note of Bribery, Buoyancy, Wasps, Cave In, Nautilus, Block, deal 1 damage to any target. Piracy, collect conscience. Fire spell or ability, return that creature to owner. And creature spell, pay 1, draw a card, discard a card. Sack, deep drummer, life. Draw target permanent, discard a card. Card creatures. Or flail ogre, flail soldier, sword, chain. Cards on the top of your library until you reveal a creature card. Put that card in your hand, the rest in your graveyard. Eh. We don't need game preserve. Keeper. Horn Troll, Hoarding Wolf, Hunted Wumpus, Jin, Orc, opponent controls of plains and you control mountain. The 1/1 haste. Tap creature, negotiation deals 1 damage to target player or planeswalker. Grant, Lava Runner, Lightning Hounds. So far, nothing. Action, Step, Monkey, Taker, Spectre, Pop Verdict, Shotting Creatures, or the Port. Brushwoods, Saprozens, Soothsaying, Longer. I need Squee for anything. Good Drake. Straight, Trade Routes. Creature and enchantment spells is there. Waterfront Bouncer, Words of Blasting, and Words. What was the blue hate card for green and red? I feel like it. Oh, there it was. Red and Creature spells and cost one more to cast now. It's not a bounce spell. Yeah, I saw the Magistrate's Veto. I was like, what was the blue one that hates on red and green? Was it a bounce spell of some kind? Because I thought it might be. So that was Mercadian Masks. Hey, on to Mirage. Hopefully we'll find more in Mirage. I don't think so. There is one card we're going to get from Mirage towards the end, but those don't need Amber Prison. Amulet of Unmaking. Freeze. Foliage, Barreling Attack, Bizarre Wonder. Boomerang, Builder's Bane. Burning Shield, Chaos Charm, Gold Diamond, Code. It's facing and can't be blocked except by walls. Ferocity. Hellkite, Crimson Rock, Cycle of Life, Daring Apprentice, Dissipate, Dream Cache, Miner. Target player untaps all basic lands they control. Nope. They put a creature card from here. Alright, it's Flash. I love when I start reading the card and it's like, oh wait, no, this is this card, and I know exactly what it is and does. Nope. On the Mages, Grinning Totem, Bogarden, Ibis. Incinerate, Jolt, Jungle Patrol, Airvex Torch, Lightning Reflexes. Side Diamond, Malignant Growth. Apps. Mind Bend, Mind Harness. Stein. Endaline. Natural Balance. Nope. Political Trickery. Polymorph. Static Lace. Think we need actual Rampant Growth for anything. Give Command. Ripple, Reckless Ember Mage. Basilisk. Crocodile, Savage Twister. Your creature controls phases out. Or Searing Scary. Sense. Shimmer. Hers. Ghost Dragon. Fairy things. Storm. Walker. Alright, almost there. We'll get one card out of this. No, it's not Warping Worm. Sorry, Warping Worm. There we go. Worldly Tutor. Since other things will give us permission to cast our spells off of the top, we can either get a creature that we need, or we can get an adventure creature and potentially cast the spell side of it with the cards that give us such permissions, depending on what we need at the time. Okay then. My notification thing was going off. That later, but it doesn't seem to be anything important at the moment. Alright, so Mirage only had the one card. Oh yeah, 42 minutes, so yeah, on to Mirrodin then. Spell Bomb, Altar of Shadows. Definitely don't need an Arc Slogger. No, Banshee, Blink Moth, Scent, Star, Alice, Chrome Mox, Ghost, Fusion in the ranks. For Hooforak, card. Maybe? Let's see. Crystal Shard. Seem to have gotten distracted while typing Eternal Witness at some point in time, back when we were in 5th Dawn. Human, Shaman, 1. There you go. Sorry, Eternal Witness. Matrix, Deconstruct, Detonate, Disarm, Applicant, Actually, do we want Duplicant? I don't have a ton of straight up creature removal. Like, most of my adventures are not like, I'm going to kill a creature and then do something else later on. So, might actually be in the market for Duplicant then? Shapeshifter. Since we're gonna have things that interact with our creatures anyway to reset them, 5-drop, not a, or that is a 6-drop. I have it listed as a 5-drop. Might want a creature that repeatedly can exile if we do that. 8, Fangren Hunter, Farsight Mask. Eight Spinner, Gambit, Forge Armor, Frogmite, Gilded Lotus, no. Granite Shard for any card. Isochron Scepter. Not work with most of our things. Might want Lightning Greaves though. Can attack with my mediocre creatures immediately. Make up for the fact that they don't have the best stats for the most part. Save. Guard. Locks. Warhammer. Memory. Mass Hysteria. Mind's Eye. Slaver. Old Mirror Adapter. Yeah, I'll probably use Oblivion Stone as my reset button. Guard, Pentus, Slagworm, Joel, Staff, Spellbomb, Element, Eight, probably run Sad Robot. Unless I decide I want to do the uh, Torpor Orb Sim back room. I always forget. He is a golem. Okay. I always want to say he's a golem, but I used to also want him to be a construct, and so I know that I'm wrong most of the time, and therefore I can't remember what he actually is. He is in fact a golem, not a construct. Sylvan Scrying, Talismans. Oh, the red-green talisman anyway. Stylus. Jade. Village. Oh, okay. Mirrodin Besiege then. Yeah. Thing in water cup. It's unpleasant. Hopefully it's just the food from before, but figure that out later. I actually have the ceiling light off right now, so I can't really see what it was. Don't need Blight Steel, Blight Widow. Bird. Consecrated Sphinx. Plate. Pause. This works with adventures, right? I may play it. Yeah, isn't sorcery cards on top of you? Oh, wait, hang on. If it's an instant sorcery card. No, it just says I may cast it. Is the cast it without paying its mana cost if it's. I don't think this one works. Because they're not instant or sorcery cards. If it said I may look at the top card of my deck and I may cast an instant or sorcery during the resolution of this ability, you know, something along, like, it's not going to be worded like that, but it has to be along those lines. It's not an instant or sorcery card is the problem. Ah, almost. Almost, but not quite. I thought we had something cool there for a second. Oh, there's Into the Core if I want it. Third NBC. We have the Embreth Shield Breaker, I think is its name. I don't know that I want if I want Into the Core or Vandal Blast. Or I do like being able to exile artifacts though. I find that level of utility very helpful. Maybe. Just being able to get rid of problematic things, usually with the word Darksteel in their name. In addition to the regular artifacts I need to deal with. Good. Not running anywhere near enough artifacts, nor do I particularly care about the ability. Inflation. Soul. I don't think so. Spine of Ishsa. I don't really have any way to interact with it once I cast it, though, is the issue, so I won't be able to get any more permanents destroyed. I don't think I want to spend 7 mana on that at that point. Sari and Vivisection. Okay. That's besieged. Time are we at? We're getting pretty close to the right time. And Modern Horizons gonna take a little bit more mental energy to comb through. We can do both Modern Horizon sets together. Alright. So that's gonna do it for me for today. Sorry we didn't find very many cards at all. Feels like we went through a bunch of sets where it's just like one card, no cards, no cards. That's going to happen when the deck is super focused already on one thing that's not found in a bunch of other sets. So, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Have a good rest of your day.